welcome back. So we're going to continue in our Teshuva study in Romans chapter 10, and I'm using, as always, the Complete Jewish Bible translation. Brothers, sisters, family, my heart's deepest desire and my prayer to God for Israel is for their salvation, for I can testify to their zeal for God, but it is not based on correct understanding. Well, I think that can be said for the church today too. Just saying. For since they are unaware of God's way of making people righteous and instead seek to set up their own, they have not submitted themselves to God's way of making people righteous. We used to say that, in the Old Testament, that the Jews were very legalistic. But, Paul's been talking about legalism, not the law. The problem isn't the law, it's legalism. And I think we've taken a lot of quote-unquote Christian doctrines and turned those into legalism too. Verse 4, for the goal at which the Torah, the Old Testament beginning Torah, aims is the Messiah who offers righteousness to everyone who trusts. Trust, complete confidence in who he is. For Moses writes about the righteousness grounded in the Torah, that the person who does these things will attain life through them. Moreover, the righteousness grounded in trusting says, do not say in your heart, who will ascend to heaven, that is to bring the Messiah down, or who will descend into Sheol, that is to bring Messiah up from the dead. What does it say then? The word is near you, in your mouth and in your heart. Didn't he say he was going to write his law on our heart? It's not been done away with. It's supposed to be written on our heart. That is the word about trust, which we proclaim, namely, that if you acknowledge publicly with your mouth that Yeshua is Lord, and trust in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be delivered. For with the heart one goes on trusting and thus continues towards righteousness, while with the mouth one keeps on making public acknowledgement and thus continues towards deliverance. For the passage quoted says that everyone, Jew, Gentile, male, female, no age, no ethnicity, no nothing. The passage says that everyone who rests his trust on him will not be humiliated. You must have confidence that he is who he says he is, and he does what he says he does. He's not a man that he can lie, so if he said it, it's true. That means that there is no difference between Jew and Gentile. Adonai, Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Abraham, Yitzhak, Yaakov, is the same for everyone. Rich toward everyone who calls on him, since everyone who calls on the name of Adonai will be delivered. But how can they call on someone if they haven't trusted in him? And how can they trust in someone if they haven't heard about him? And how can they hear about someone if no one is proclaiming him? And how can people proclaim him unless God sends them? As the Tanakh puts it, how beautiful are the feet of those announcing good news about good things. Well, let me tell you, the good news is that Yeshua, God and man, set aside his godhood, came in the body of a human being, lived a righteous life, and died on my behalf, fulfilling God's requirements for a broken Torah. And because of that, read Romans 8 again if you have to. God gave his son because he loved us. So he's not going to turn us away. And Yeshua gave up his life for us and actually intercedes on our behalf. So he's not going to turn us away. The only thing that can separate you from God is you. How beautiful are the feet of those announcing good news about good things. He died for you so that you could live and have eternal life. Choose him. Choose wisely. All right. Short and sweet. It's not the whole chapter. Finish it. Chapter 10. It's a good chapter. The whole book's good. Haven't read a bad one yet. And I'll see you next time. We're getting really close. Yom Teruah is a couple days away. Feast of Trumpets. See you next time.